So, you want to hear a story, huh?
Alright, what is going on YouTube? We are back in it for another one. Gonna switch it up for a video and go with some Borderlands on the channel today. And it's wild to me that it's coming up on 4 years since Borderlands 3 dropped, the last main entry into the franchise. It feels like just yesterday we were all hyped as hell for that game to come out, and then it came out and then I was going crazy with the uploads and I was streaming it and the whole nine. My channel was small as hell back then, but I actually did have one video that did alright. I was one of the first people, if not the first person, to upload a little tutorial on how to unlock the triple boosted Sonic Cyclone. And I remember that video actually did pretty good, man. It was like, I don't know, 5,000 views or something like that, man. Like I said, my channel back then was small as hell. I think I only had like 100 or 200 subscribers or something like that, man. But the video did all right, goddammit. And that feels like just yesterday. And I know we got Wonderlands just over a year ago. Wonderlands is weird, man. It's like, it's kind of a main entry into the franchise, but it's not really. It's a spin-off type deal. Wonderlands did combat great, very similar to Borderlands 3. Like, the locations in that game were great, but the end game sucked. The Chaos Chamber got boring so quick. The post-launch content, the DLC for that game was absolutely terrible. I know that game was made during a pandemic and all that, but if the content is not there, if the content is not ready, don't take people's money for it, man. Don't push it out. Let it cook a little longer until it's ready. Yeah, the DLC just really turned me off that game. The DLC was like, I haven't touched Wonderlands in a minute now, man. A cool minute. It's been a while since I played that game. I do go back and play Borderlands 3, and I still go back and play Borderlands 2 on a regular, man. Borderlands 2 wasn't perfect, but it was damn close for me, man. I love that game. Borderlands 3 did a lot of things right, and it definitely did a lot of things wrong as well. Like, the gameplay in Borderlands 3 is fantastic, man. The sliding, they added the mantle and all that. Like, the gameplay was great. The skill trees were great. They added an extra skill tree later on. All that was great. I thought the story was so weak and messy, though. The villains were annoying as hell, and Ava, add Ava into that too. The villains sucked in that game. Ava was annoying. And I thought Maya's death was handled just so poorly in that game. It felt rushed. Like, if you look back at Borderlands 2, I thought they handled Roland's death very well in that game. And then you look at Maya's death in Borderlands 3 and it didn't really work out. But anyways, enough of that. So with Borderlands 4 on the horizon in the not too distant future, and we're probably going to get an announcement for it at some point soon, I thought that I would just make a quick video breaking down some things that I'm hoping to see in that game. Some things that I'm hoping that they fix or they change, or just I'm hoping that it comes out of the gate with some of these changes, or at least some of these things fixed or whatever. It's in no particular order, and I'm definitely going to be missing some things on this list. So whatever I miss, feel free to drop it in the comment section. And there's some things that I'm intentionally leaving out of this video just because I don't want this video to be crazy long. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this. If you guys really enjoy it, let me know in the comment section. Either way. And the first thing I need to get out of the way right off the bat, and I'm pretty sure everybody who's made a video on this topic has probably used this as like their first bullet point, right? I haven't watched any videos on this yet. This is just my personal list. But the first thing I need to hit immediately, pearlescence and other rarities above legendary. Borderlands 3 made a big mistake with this. Now, they were trying to say that the consoles at the time, it was a hardware limitation there, and they would have to take out other rarities in order to add like a glitch rarity or a pearlescent or seraphs or whatever. That excuse does not work anymore. We have the consoles, man. We got the Xbox Series X, we got the PS5. I ain't trying to hear it. We need pearlescents. We need very rare loot like that to chase, man. It keeps people coming back to the game. But speaking of people coming back to the game, we need dedicated drops, farmable, respawning bosses immediately out of the gate with Borderlands 4. Borderlands 3 struggled with this in the beginning. Even Wonderlands, the last time I played it, it was struggling with this as well too. We need a gang of dedicated drops. We need bosses that we can continuously go back and farm whenever we want. And I'm gonna throw raid bosses in there too, because even with Borderlands 3, like, we got the takedowns and all of that, that game, it only has really the one raid boss, the one true raid boss. The thing that keeps me going back to Borderlands 2, man, is you got so many different raid bosses that you can go fuck up, man. Try different builds. That's my favorite thing to do in Borderlands 2. Whenever I get a new class mod, a new shield, whatever, whenever I get new gear, I always test out a different build on Pyro Pete, on Terra, on Hyperius, whoever, man. That's one of my favorite things to do in Borderlands 2. It's what keeps people coming back to that game. It's why it has the longevity that it has. We need raid bosses out of the gate. Borderlands 4 Gearbox. You just don't be going chintzy on the raid bosses. We need a few at launch with the game, and with each DLC we need at least one raid bosses, man. That's what keeps people coming back to the game. But also make loot harder to earn in Borderlands 4. We need that more rare loot. We need shit that's harder to get, that's more rare than legendaries. But the problem with Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands as well too, man, it's raining legendaries, bro. Like, you just play the game, you're not even farming bosses, nothing like that. You're just playing the game, and you got legendaries everywhere, man. You got legendaries coming at the ass, legendaries all over the place. It's too easy to get legendaries in that game, man. You gotta make loot feel more rewarding in Borderlands 4. That keeps people on your game. Also, what happened to the Watcher's War? You remember at the end of pre-sequel, the Watcher warned us about a big war and we were gonna need all the Vault Hunters we could get? Whatever happened to that, man? We go to Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 just forgot about that shit. I don't mind pre-sequel. It was you know what I mean? It struggles from some of the things that I'm talking about in this video, but it was a decent Borderlands game nonetheless, and you ended on that note and we don't hear anything on it again, man. What happened to the Great War? What happened to that big ass war that the Watcher was talking about? I also want to see more than 4 Vault Hunters in Borderlands 4. We had more than 4 in Borderlands 2. We had more than 4 in pre-sequel. Unless you want to bring back the Wonderlands classes, I guess I would be all right with that, depending on what you guys do with it. But you could bring that back or give us more than 4 Vault Hunters, man. We got the hardware, all right? The limitations are not there. We got the consoles that are capable. We need more than 4 Vault Hunters, man. It keeps that replay value high. It keeps people coming back to the game. I also want to see cleaner matchmaking, Gearbox. Make it modern. Now, I haven't partied up with anybody on Borderlands in a long time, but anybody who's played Borderlands, you know what I'm talking about. You get kicked if the host leaves. It takes forever to find people. A lot of the time, it gets laggy as hell when somebody joins up on you, like you're skipping all over the place and shit. You have to wait until players exit their menu before you can fast travel anywhere. Actually, Gearbox, you can learn a lot from Destiny when it comes to matchmaking, how they handle it for their strikes and all that. Like, you could have a teammate that's doing whatever in their inventory, man. They could be switching their whole entire setup around, and it doesn't affect anything that you're doing. You could definitely learn a few things from Destiny when it comes to matchmaking for Borderlands 4. I love what Borderlands 3 did with the whole fast travel system. You know, you can pretty much travel wherever you want to go from wherever you're at. You're almost there, Gearbox. You're right there. You just need one more thing, man. Let us fast travel to a catch a ride, man. When we're pressed for time and we're struggling and we're trying to fuck these bosses up because we're trying to farm for that legendary or that pearl or whatever, we want to get there as quick as possible. Let us fast travel to the catch a ride, man. You're so close. You're almost there. Just let us fast travel to the catch a ride, man. That's all I'm asking. It's not because I'm lazy. It's a time thing, man. Let us get there. We're trying to get our farm on. Let us get there as quick as possible. Also, I want to know who the 7th Siren is. We need to find this out in Borderlands 4. They teased us a little bit in Borderlands 3. We were always under the impression that there was only 6 Sirens in existence at one time. We found out that there's a 7th Siren. Wouldn't it be cool if they made the 7th Siren like the entire villain of Borderlands 4, kind of like what they did with Handsome Jack in Borderlands 2. You could do a lot of things with that. That could be a fantastic story that a lot of people would be interested in. Also, Gearbox, stay away from live service. Handle the microtransactions the same way you did for Borderlands 3, which means there are none. Don't listen to all these people asking for battle royales and shit, man. I'm so tired of seasons and battle passes and shit. Stay away from live service. We've seen Battlefield 2042 adopt live service. We've seen Call of Duty adopt live service, and both of those games were shells of their former selves. Battlefield 2042 has turned that around because they're actually listening and they're putting in the work, but still, the games didn't reach their true potential, and I think the live service has a lot to do with that. It's just a tease, and it's annoying as hell. It makes the game feel more like a job than something you want to do as a hobby, man. You want to jump on these games because you're trying to kill some time and have some fun, chill out with the homies, whatever it is. These games don't need to feel like a job, man. Destiny is doing that as well, too. Like, you feel like you have to get on instead of getting on because you want to get on. And Borderlands 4 does not need a battle royale, man. Stay the fuck away from that shit. We don't need any more battle royales. Everybody out here on this battle royale kick, they want every game to have a battle royale. This game does not need a battle royale. And I think I'll end it on the whole PvP conversation. I'm seeing some people talking about a PvP for Borderlands 4. Listen, I personally think that a PvP would not work in Borderlands unless they wanted to strip it right down and you just get like fixed part white weapons. No shields, no relics, no artifacts, no class mods, none of that shit. Just white fixed part weapons, and you could just go at it like that, team deathmatch, domination, or whatever. I think that's probably like the only way that it would work, because Destiny struggles heavily with this. The PvE side of it, they get the shaft over there because PvP, and you can't blame the PvP crowd that complains about this exotic or that exotic because it's overpowered as hell in PvP. And so the PvE side of it suffers because those guns are overpowered as hell in PvP, so they gotta nerf the hell out of them, and you don't really feel like you're using an exotic over there in PvE. We don't need a PvP like that in Borderlands. But I think a mode like Destiny has with Gambit could work in Borderlands, where you have like a PvE VP mode. You could have 2 teams of 4 or 2 teams of 3 or whatever going at raid bosses, and whoever kills the raid bosses first, you know, they get whatever loot. Like, you could have its own loot pool for this mode. I think something like that could work. But anyways, that is all I have for this one. I didn't want this video to go too long, so like I said, I'm definitely missing some things on this. Feel free to leave it in the comments section. What is the thing you're hoping for the most with Borderlands 4? I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.